It's time for another episode of the Cultural Hall. It is an Articles of News episode. It is the News Wizard, and I gonna play another round of Smooch, Marry, and Kill. Is that what it is? Smooch?
Yes, Smooch, Marry, and Kill.
Marry, Kill. We're
Yeah.
gonna do that within this episode. I'm surprised that neither of us are waiting at the doors of our local Deseret Book or LDS Church Distribution Center as sleeveless
Are the
garments.
photos out? Oh,
They're
no. The sleeveless
available
garments.
now. Sleeveless garments available now. Run to the stores. Overnight party. Porn shoulders across the Utah Valley.
I've already gotten some feedback from the Youd women.
Men unable to control their thoughts and their emotions. Completely women's fault. All because of garments. Tell me what the Youd women think about the sleeveless. They've got some. They've tried some.
They would love to have some, but the website's down.
Yep.
Go figure.
Yeah.
You think they could have anticipated that? Do you think there's a technology that's offered by at least a dozen different companies that would allow them to scale up and down cost effectively?
Oh, don't
that's only been available for a decade? Come on.
They did not pay you for your consultancy, so keep it to yourself.
This is true. People pay me a lot to help with these kind of things. My gosh.
Yeah, sort of a flub, but I think an intentional flub.
Sort of. Well, I don't know. Why would you intentionally flub?
Well, because you don't.
If you intentionally flub, it means that you don't have the rest of your system under control.
Well, I think so. To me, walk with me here for a minute, because maybe I'm completely, dim as far as this stuff goes. I don't think that they thought it would be as big of an issue initially when they said, hey, we're going to shorten some sleeves and stuff like that. They probably thought like, hey, this is an impact. But I think that in general, there was not an awareness as to how much this would impact people, specifically women probably, but people in general, right?
Yeah,
So
I would say they underestimated the popularity, but they announced it months and months in advance and able to gauge what the popularity was going to be.
Yes, and I think that we reject out of hand the ideas of like, that we want garments to be the popular thing, or like you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want to be a social trend. We don't want to feed into that. And so I think that they said, hey, there will be a scarcity for a while, but people, if we make them all available, websites up and functioning, all of these things, that then it would just be so much, and people would buy a dozen pairs, right? I'd get online, I'd buy a dozen pairs.
I love your rationalization. I think that's wonderful. You're making the Beehive clothing supply chain team very happy with your explanation.
Yes.
I don't think it holds any water at all.
Yeah, listen, I do it the company way. I think that, because then think about it too. You still have people that may not be aware of how drastically different the garments will be, and our church houses change overnight. Where last week we didn't have shoulders, and this week, what are we wearing? Sun caps and sleeveless shirts and all that stuff.
Sundresses become the style, well, just in time for winter,
And I think very strongly intentional late fall.
So I'm gonna throw out several different ideas.
Okay.
Number one, when they announced it, they said we are making them available in countries where it's warmer and more humid for people's comfort.
Sure.
They knew it was going to be very popular, maybe not as how popular it would be, but certainly from the gauged response, they knew it was going to be super popular.
Okay.
So then they bring it to the U.S. The excuse of taking it places where it's warm, hot, and humid first falls apart. Otherwise, they would have released them in the U.S. next summer. So it was a matter of, we don't have enough, so we're going to send it places that don't have the greatest demand. Just be honest and upfront about that. Number two, they have been able to gauge the response over the last months because they've seen how the what people will do to get the garments, calling their friends in Singapore, going to Africa and buying them, and arbitraging them back to their friends. And I will say it one more time, and only one more time, because it makes me ill to think about it. But there is a global garment supply chain science that could have been used to avoid all of this. And scarcity causes more interest rather than less interest. So if you really wanted to flatten out the interest and not make it such a big deal, flood the market, and then bleed off the supply chain over the next year as you regulate how many are bought and sold and what you really need to satisfy the demand.
Hmm. All right.
Sorry, I just
Doesn't
bored
doesn't
everyone
seem
with my
doesn't seem
garment
very
supply
company
chain.
way of you. I think it was intentional. The way that they did it. I just did a quick Google search to see if I could figure out how many pairs of garments Beehive Clothing makes a year. No
Yeah.
information available about that. No surprise. But interestingly enough, I found they made 200,000 surgical gowns in a short period of time during COVID. So we
Yeah.
certainly have the capability. That's the one thing that, like, with your perspective, that I don't. It's enough of a disconnect that I just can't figure it out.
Hmm.
It's not like we're, these are very like elaborate
They're
articles of
simple
clothing, right?
garments. Yeah.
Simple pattern, put them together. It's machines. It's not, as it was before. The ladies down at the old Lion House, they make rolls in the morning and garments in the afternoon. It is,
That's right.
machine doing this thing. We could
This
crank
is
them out. So it's got to be at least somewhere intentional. I can't
Well,
think
no,
that
it is
someone.
intentional. It is intentional. I'm pretty sure it's intentional so far as we don't want to spend very much budget to launch this. If they
Okay.
spent a little bit more, bought the expertise, used some consultants, they could have had as many as they needed for the initial hit.
Sure, but it's a sunk cost because they're not making money on it. The cost of
I
garments is
understand.
not a thing that,
Yeah,
we're not rolling 10 billion into
of
Ensign
course,
based
of
on our
course.
garment manufacturer. So
Yeah,
why they have no incentive
that's
to
right.
do that.
They have no incentive to be efficient. They would have been a lot more efficient, a lot more cost effective if they would have handled it that way. And
Well,
on the IT side, the website crashing. I mean, 15 years ago, I worked with clients that were developing their e-commerce websites so that they could handle Black Friday and the Christmas rush,
mhm.
which is nothing like this. This is
Sure.
small compared to that, and so there are technologies out there that they didn't have to invest in themselves. They could have used a partner to help them scale up and down and not have a single website crash.
Why do you have to be so critical, Verlin?
Because
Brother Dowd, for
out of
now.
the Lord's restored and only true church on the face of the earth, I expect us to act like the only true church on the
Hmm.
face of the earth in all manners, not just on the religious side.
Interesting.
I think we should hold our
Interesting.
standards high.
Yeah, yeah. I would love to know if anyone has any inside information. I'll keep it anonymous. Contact at theculturehall.com. But there are, in an article from the Salt Lake Tribune, people lining up at the
Of course they are.
various distribution centers
Yeah.
just this morning. More than
Yeah.
200 people in Centerville. People outside the Deseret Book. Quote, I'm used to waiting in line for drops and stuff like this, but this was a lot more than I was expecting. It's awesome that they have this turnout here, says one. I have a dress that I got that was sleeveless, said Davis. Last name, I'm assuming. It was so cute. I was going to put my own sleeves on it because I sew. And then I thought, you know what? Now I don't have to.
Beautiful. That's awesome. I'm glad that women are finally getting the flexibility.
I lived in New Orleans for a few years, so hot and humid, I would have killed for these. Geez, murder. God. I don't think this. Someone works in construction. This is Weston. Weston works in construction, working outside in the heat, especially here in Utah. It's going to be nice to wear some tank top garments. Sun's out, guns out.
Now the question is, what about mission attire? So on my mission, we wore short sleeve shirts. Of course, we had garments that had short sleeves. Now that there are tank garments for men, will missionaries be able to wear sleeveless shirts with ties?
So long as, ooh, no, but I would imagine on preparation day that they can wear, they
Yeah,
can wear the
sleeveless
tank
workout
tops, yeah,
attire.
sleeveless
Yeah,
workout attire with the garments underneath.
yeah, yeah.
Although S for sweating is one of the S's you don't wear your garments for.
I
You
never
ever hear
thought
that?
about the S's.
You haven't heard about the
No, no,
S's?
no. Give me the S's.
Well, one of them I can't say because it's a bad word.
It's a bad word. I think it's a beautiful word.
We are not talking about the
Oh,
same.
okay.
Taking a poop.
That's okay.
That's one
the,
of the
the
S's.
the deuce. I
Yeah,
gotcha.
the deuce.
Okay.
Then the one that I think you think I was talking about, sex. It is a beautiful word.
It is.
It is a beautiful
It's
word, but
supposed
funny
to
that,
be.
yeah. Showering,
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
swimming,
Swimming, okay.
and
You
sweating
don't swim in your garments?
and
I'm just
sweating
kidding.
and
And
sweating.
sweating. So
Yeah.
anytime I'm sweating, I was sweating this morning working on my daughter's house as she's getting ready to sell it.
Yeah, you know what I
Mm.
mean though. Like the sweat. Like
At the
I
gym
am
working
working
out.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I work out, like
Yeah.
the song
Whoa.
says.
Yeah.
Yep.
Work out. I think it's a beautiful word. That's going to be the name of this episode. Hold on. Beautiful S word. Hang
I
on.
love
Got to
it.
write that
Yes.
down.
Yep.
What else? We talked yesterday. What's new with you? Anything?
What's I had to stroke another very large check to a builder. My
What?
gosh. Those are funded to write.
Is it almost done?
It's well,
Being paid for?
almost no, because it's not going to be paid for until it's completely done.
Sure.
But
Until
but
Susan happy, ain't nobody happy.
one more large payment and then another fairly large payment
Okay.
when it's all done and finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the house yesterday actually with the electrician showing him where I wanted, believe it or not, Cat 6 cables run
Yeah.
in my home.
Heck
Because
yes.
Wi-Fi is awesome,
Yep.
but I am tired of my TV depending on my Wi-Fi, so I want to plug in Ethernet to the back of the TV and have a
Yes.
direct gig connection.
I hope
So
you're doing it in all the places.
I am.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are you a TV in the bedroom guy?
No, we are not. We used to be, but we haven't been for many years.
Better for you.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
can have the beautiful S word.
Yeah, this way, if I need to watch a late BYU game, I have to stay in the
Yeah.
family room where my yelling and screaming isn't quite so bad that it disturbs the rest of the
Oh,
house.
sure. And your wife when she's watching a North Carolina game, right? Go in the other
Well,
room. I'm trying to sleep.
I watch North Carolina too.
But she gets fierce.
Yeah, she does get fierce, but BYU is my number one, and UNC is my number 1A. In her case, UNC is her number one, and BYU is her number 150.
So she puts up with it.
Which I'm not
yeah,
sure
Cat 6.
why.
Cat
but,
6, baby.
yeah.
I got it in all the rooms in my house. It's great.
Yep.
Worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And move-in date still sometime in November?
Yeah, it's moved now to probably first week of December.
Ooh, see, they're already doing it.
Yep.
And then it'll be
Well,
2026.
So Susan told them that she wants to move in and unpack her kitchen on her birthday, which is December 8th.
Okay.
So
Have
that's
they
the
said
goal.
things like, I don't know, it's a supply chain? Have they started to pass the buck to other things?
They did on the windows. They said, "Oh, the windows are back ordered." We said, "When did you order the windows?" They said, "Just a couple of weeks ago." We said, "We told you which windows we wanted 6 weeks ago. Why didn't you order them then?" They didn't have an answer.
Nope.
So,
You know why?
no, because we hadn't given them another check. That's
They're
why.
on back order. It's a supply chain issue.
We did have to pick out light fixtures yesterday, Richie.
Oof.
I didn't realize how many different light fixtures we had to pick out and included ceiling fans. And this is way more complex. Just give me a simple.
Take me back to the days of crumble cookie in the beginning.
Yes.
Very beginning.
There you go. Chocolate chip cookie, one choice.
Yep, one choice. One warm chocolate chip cookie. Because
Where
sure,
did that
I love
chocolate chip
everything.
cookie go?
I,
Man.
I love how the different choices and the weekly thing and all that. But you know what? I didn't have to spend any time on when there was one option. What I was
Choosing
gonna,
options.
yeah, what I was
That's
gonna
right.
pick. I just got
Yep.
it. Nothing new with me except that only a couple more nights doing the Halloween music with the kids
Ah,
up at the Red Butte Gardens here in Utah, and it's
Oh, are you
particularly
doing
fun.
that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
every single night, freezing every single night, and
Ooh.
because it's after dark.
hmm
But I love the challenge, and I started doing this a couple years ago when I started up there. Everyone who walks out, they come through the building and then they come out. There's a photo op, and then they come out to the plaza. And if they choose to, they can immediately start kind of walking through the gardens there, or they can hang out on the plaza. If they spend any amount of time on the plaza, I try and play a song that is associated with their costume. So, like Superman, you
Oh.
got the Superman theme, you got your Spider-Mans and your Blues,
Got all the Star Wars
and your Star Wars folks and your Darth Vader, which is Star Wars, but different song than just the ordinary thing. Or like, we have it's right by the University of Utah, so there's people wearing University of Utah jerseys.
so you play the fight
Utah
song.
Man song, all that
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Yeah,
And then there are people who are not paying attention to me and aren't very likely wearing a costume, or if it is a costume, I have no idea what it is. And if they were being honest, they would tell you they have no idea what it is as well.
Right.
So I figure a song that the smart and astute will pick up on
Something
that, hey,
clever.
yeah, right.
You're really overestimating the audience, I think.
Yes, 1,000%. Guy a couple nights ago was wearing a Dodgers uniform, probably because he's just a
Uh-huh.
baseball fan and they're in the World Series, which
Sure.
an amazing game the other night. My gosh.
Well, last night I tried to stay up, but they were in the 12th inning. I finally had to go to bed at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, and you were only 2/3 of the way through the game.
Oh my gosh.
But I played the I Love LA. I
Oh,
love
nice.
LA, right? And if
Nice.
you know,
Yeah.
that's the in stadium song for the Dodgers. But if you don't know, you're just sort of like, what's this guy playing? I thrive so much on the random songs that I play for people and then love it when it pays off because they go, oh, hey, that's a song about me. Last night,
Yeah.
there was a young kid in like a snowsuit, a San Francisco 49ers snowsuit, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to San Francisco, be sure to leave some flowers in your hair. That was the song I played, and people were like, "Oh, hey,
They
that's
put
our
it
kid.
together.
You're
That's
playing the
great.
song for
Okay,
that."
let me
Yeah.
tell you what I'm wearing for Halloween, and you tell me what song you would play.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's go. This
Are
is a
you
game.
familiar? Are you familiar with the Great British Bake Off show?
Sure.
Okay, you're familiar with the hosts of that show?
No, not really.
There's one that's a tall, lanky, dark-haired gentleman with big, what are they called? Lamb chop sideburns, who's kind of kooky. His name's Noel. I'm going as Noel. My son is going as Paul Hollywood, and my daughter-in-law is going as Prue, the other judge.
Okay. So I would go one of two ways with this. Depending on how tall and lanky and the lamb chops that you were, like I would do like a Dick Van Dyke Step in Time, because you get the
The English accent.
you get the English
okay.
accent as part of the song, right?
Mm-hmm. The
And-
shaggy dark hair.
Yeah, the shaggy dark hair, and I can see it only from across the plaza. So if they go, "That's not who I am," I go, "Oh, but that's pretty good. That's pretty good that I got
That's close.
that far,
That's
right?"
close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's some merit as far as that goes. Or if I knew for sure that you were Noel,
Mm-hmm.
like knew for sure, I would play the First Noel, and I'd say it's close, but not quite there. And then we all sort of appreciate it. But there is
Okay.
literally a song for everyone that comes.
There
across the
is.
plaza.
There is absolutely.
Yeah. And if I'm not there next year, I'll know that they didn't think I was as charming as I thought I was. So that's,
Here's the devious side of me is I'd be trying to pick songs that kind of made fun of people.
I do a
and I
little
got
of
to
that.
stay away from that.
I do a little of that. There was a kid that was being there was a teenager that was just being a jerk.
You mean a member of the rising generation?
Yeah, the rising
Okay.
youth, the rising generation, a youth. And I played Teenage Dirtbag
Oh,
specifically
nice.
to just call it out. And the dad looks at me right as they're walking up the ramp and goes, gives me the little nod, like, "I got it, pal. I see what you were doing."
Very nice.
But yeah, it's stuff like
Did anyone do any backflips last night at the
that.
plaza?
No, but we had a Benson Boone. Boone.
Nice. Okay.
And here's the thing. People were encouraging him to backflip. That's not coincidence. I'm not kidding. He was dressed. He had this like sequin thing, the open abs, and this guy was just he wanted a costume that he could show everyone his body.
That he could show that
Yeah.
he was, yeah.
But then they're like, "Flip," and he's like, "I can't." And I was like, "Please don't do it out of pressure because
No.
a hospital visit is not worth it."
No.
And or wheelchair that you end up in doing
Exactly.
that wrong.
Exactly.
Which is why I contend, great callback to our last news episode, the Mormon backflip theory is not a thing. There's a couple Mormons that were famous that did it. That's it.
That's right. Plenty. None of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City have done it.
Yeah.
None
Yeah,
of the secret Mormon wives have done it.
Yeah. Although,
It's
can
not
you
a thing.
imagine what it would be like if a secret wife at a swig did a backflip? Done. The internet would blow up.
It would. That is for sure.
We've got news. More news
We
that
do.
we can shake 10 sticks at. So we'll get to that coming back in the second half of Articles of News.
Looking for a gift that's meaningful and unique? Discover the artistry of Latter Day 3D Studio, where we 3D print exquisitely detailed temple magnets, Christmas ornaments, temple ties, and more. Each item is meticulously crafted layer by layer to bring the spirit of the temple into your home. These creations make ideal gifts for baptisms, ordinations, or birthdays in primary, young women, or Relief Society. Visit LatterDay3DStudio.com and find the temple that inspires you. Latter Day 3D Studio, where faith meets craftsmanship.
Let me take just a moment to tell you all about bestdjinutah.com. That is the website where you can learn all about me. Oh, sure, you probably feel like you know me, but you know me in the cultural hall sense. I have a DJ company now, 6 of us strong, great event hosts, MCs, and DJs that can be able to make whatever event you have coming up absolutely spectacular, and hope you will reach out to us. Now you're thinking, well, wait a minute, Richie, I don't live in Utah. Would you travel? Absolutely, I would travel. Would they travel? Absolutely, they would travel. Whatever your event is, doesn't have to be a wedding or a community event. We can do all sorts of things. I can teach you line dancing. I can dance with you. We can do partner dancing. We can do all kinds of things, but we can't do any of it if you don't hit me up. You can go to bestdjinutah.com. You can fill out the form to get more information or get a quote, and then I will get right back to you. Find out why I'm so busy and why sometimes we don't get episodes of the Cultural Hall. It's all because of bestdjinutah.com. Here in the second half of Articles of News, we do actual articles of news.
You can't lose articles of news.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because in the break we're riffing on each other and it is too funny.
Yeah, it's
Sometimes
a shame
we
that
ought to just record that.
We should just go through it, talking about who actually was the boss. Was it Tony Danza or Judith Light?
Not sure how we got there, but we did.
Yeah.
It was Tony Danza.
No, but Judith Light was the boss.
She was the boss, right? He was the star.
She who hired him.
What was the name of the young lady that became super famous?
It's Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa Milano.
I don't know what her character's name was. Samantha.
I can't remember.
Does that
Samantha.
sound right?
I think that sounds right.
And then
I can't remember her brother's
name.
No one cared about him.
Yeah. I remember the Beastie Boys episode where you got to fight for your right to party. That's the boss episode there.
Yeah.
Tony Danza, by the way, just in Utah County just recently, or is about to be. I'm not sure. Doing a show. He does a thing.
No, very nice.
Because he's a charming enough of a gentleman that you would just go watch Tony Danza, even if you were like, I don't know.
My mom and dad would enjoy that. I just bought them tickets to a show for Christmas as well.
What show did you buy them tickets to?
Well, it's a show that has 2 gentlemen in it that have a Come Follow Me podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like a Christmas variety show, and they're holding it at local high schools, laughing all the way. Yeah, and it's Spanish Fork High School.
Okay.
John, by the way, Hank Smith, your friend Lisa Valentine.
That's right, Lisa Valentine Clark. Don't deny her last name.
Did they put Clark on? They must have, I guess. I just think of her as Lisa Valentine. And then there's two other people, another woman, another man. I can't remember who it is.
I don't know when this show was or is. I think it's in the past.
It's Hayborn. What's his name? Hayborn.
Oh, yeah, Kirby Hayborn. Sure.
Kirby is in it. So they're doing like 10 or 11 shows across northern Utah, and I think they're actually going to southern Utah, too.
And probably Idaho?
I don't know. Anywhere there's a high school gym or high school auditorium.
We're putting on a show at the high school gym. I've still got my tickets for the Osmond musical that comes out in the spring. I got opening night tickets to the Osmond show.
Thank you for asking me if I was interested in coming.
Well, I'm sure you'll be in town because you never leave. So I'm not.
Hey, I'm in North Carolina. You can tell right now because of my background. That is not a Utah background.
Yeah, that fake background that you've got behind there.
Yes, exactly.
In our actual articles of news, we already did the Peter thing. Let's talk about our Smooch, Marry, Kill.
Gotcha. Well, we're coming up on Halloween here. What happens on Halloween with most wards? We have a chili cook-off.
Oh, okay.
Right? So this is a chili cook-off related smooch, marry, or kill. And I have to give credit where credit is due. The McDaniel sisters, my nieces, have submitted this smooch, marry, or kill.
Now, is this Caitlin and the other one?
This is Caitlin and the other one. Exactly.
What's the other one's name again?
I think it's Robin, but there's also Nicole and Paige. There's 4 of them.
Nicole and Paige haven't played along yet. It's just been Caitlin
I don't
and
think
Robin.
so, but they've been trying to keep their mom involved too. So
hold on. Before you get into this, she messaged me and says, you can certainly pick a favorite one. And so if you're not going to, I'm going to. My favorites are Caitlin and Robin.
Nice.
And if I had to pick just one, Caitlin, because I can remember her name and I didn't remember Robin's.
Okay, nice.
So
nice. I've finally gotten to the point where I can remember their husbands' names without having to ask anybody.
As an aside, before we do the one that they sent, you have to smooch, marry, or kill one of your nieces. You've got 4 of them. I'm just joking. Please don't answer this question. Go into there.
That would be very awkward.
Yeah.
So we're going to the chili cook-off. So you have to smooch, marry, or kill. Number 1.
Okay.
You have the chili made with lots of, quote, healthy substitutions that the family that made it swears is just as good as regular chili.
Yeah. Okay. Smooch, marry, kill. Okay.
Okay. Number 2, the chili made by the family that hunts deer and elk. Sorry, girls, I modified that one a little bit. And the third one, the family that just opens a couple of cans of Hormel chili, warms it up, and brings it as their own.
Okay, it's easy for me. I would marry the opens the can that's because it's great. It's reliable. I know what I'm getting.
You're a McDonald's man after all.
Yeah, it's great. It's
predictable.
It tastes the same every single time. It's warm, it's filling, it's everything that I wanted chili to be, so I would marry that now.
Okay.
I think if it's done well, I would smooch the game chili and I would kill it tastes just the same even though it's not real things in this thing or it's all whatever the thing is.
Yeah.
That would be my smooch marry kill.
You and I are very close. My kill is the same one. Anyone who says it tastes just like the real thing,
nope.
If it did, you wouldn't have to say that. So stop. So I kill that one. I would smooch the Hormel, and I would marry the game chili.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this: a moral dilemma with the chili cook-offs as we go into this.
A moral dilemma with chili.
Oftentimes, people will use beer as a component of chili.
Yeah, and I've heard white wine is chili as well, and some red wine in chili.
Would you Verlin, feel comfortable bringing an alcohol-cooked chili with no disclaimer to the Ward cook-off? Or would you feel like...
I can neither confirm nor deny that this may have happened in the past.
And did you tell people, hey, just so everyone knows, it's
like you said, your qualification was with no explanation that that's what it was. So
okay, because I'll tell you what, the big claim is that it cooks out, but are you allowing people the choice of their own agency, their informed agency, if you make it and don't tell people? Or
you may not be allowing them the choice, but in my personal belief system, not doctrine, unless you can think of a reason it would be doctrine, I don't think they are going to be punished for the sins of their brother.
But it's not a sin of yours.
It's mine because I'm aware. If they're not aware, it's no longer a sin.
Sure. So if you give me a drink, but I don't ask you what it is, I can drink as much as I'd like, and it'd be your fault.
If you can't discover what it is, the only time I've had wine is on my mission in such a scenario.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The chili's made with a beer, like a Mexican beer. It's the way to go. It's the way.
Yeah. Nice.
Not news. So let's get into news.
Yes.
Obviously.
Where do you want to go first?
Well, we start with the garments. That is legitimate. Today, October 28th, as we record this, garments now available for people.
The shorter sleeves and
the short sleeves. Get me
some different fabrics.
Yep. I'm going to get me some of those slips so I can sleep in my garments, but not have to have
I love that idea.
On my waist. I love it. I don't know that I'm actually going to do it, but I might just try it just for the sake
of it. Are you
allowed?
It probably comes in the pink package and not the blue package.
Can I not buy a pink package?
I don't know what the ruling is on that one. Contact at the cultural hall.
Do I have to have a pink number, a pink membership number associated?
No. Are you? Yeah, I had never thought about a male who wants to buy female garments because of the fabric and the fit, maybe.
Yeah, and I only say that because sleeping in garments is cumbersome for me. And so I, for the experiment, here's the thing. People will try and shame and go, what are you trying to do? Nothing.
It's
the same covenant. It's the same thing. It's just comfort. Like any of these things are comfort.
That's right.
So stop trying to make something wrong with that. I would imagine I probably could buy them without consequence. I bought my stepmom garments before.
Yeah, you just have to buy them in a fairly large size.
Oh yeah.
Not commenting on your body in any. I'm not trying to shame in any way.
I heard you just call me fat. That's fine.
Yeah. No.
So that's the lead story. I do not want to be shamed for not starting with the proper story. This came out a couple days ago, and I think this is maybe one of the bigger stories. Minor adjustments have been made to select study helps in the Doctrine and Covenants and Book of Mormon. Most of these changes reflect recent research from the Joseph Smith Papers Project. But in introductions to 2 of the 4 canonized scriptures, the Doctrine and Covenants and Book of Mormon, those changes have been made. We hope the contextual additions help readers better understand why and how the Lord communicated with the church through his prophet. Quote, These adjustments bring the section introductions in line with what we have learned for more than 20 years of careful study of Joseph Smith's documents. The minor changes to dates and places reflect the careful attention with which we believe this remarkable legacy of divine revelation ought to be treated. We hope that the additions help readers better understand why and how the Lord communicated through his prophet. 25 section introductions of Doctrine and Covenants were adjusted. 15 are due to factual corrections, and 10 are to provide contextual clarity. Adjustments to 2 chapter summaries in the Book of Mormon help to clarify the Savior's ministry to the people of Nephi and the importance of calling the church in his name. A detailed summary of the specific updates has been provided, and an explanation of the historical adjustments made to the scriptures can be found online at churchofjesuschrist.org.
Yeah, I'm going to look this up. I think this is phenomenal. We clarify, correct, contextualize as we learn more, as we should.
I'm trying to do a quick side-by-side search to see exactly what it is, to see if I can illustrate what that might be. Here we go. AI is going to maybe help us out here. All right.
Go ahead.
The wording preceding 3rd Nephi chapter 11 was changed from comprising chapters 11 through 26 to beginning with chapter 11. This was to reflect that Jesus Christ continued his ministry to the Nephites even after chapter 26. And then the second one for 3rd Nephi chapter 27, the chapter summary was changed from, quote, Jesus commands them to call the church in his name, to, quote, Jesus commands that the church be called in his name. This adjustment clarifies that the command applies to the members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints today, not just to the people of Nephi. So, small
cool.
but significant changes.
Yes, and I appreciate these changes. I really do. I was listening to a podcast a couple of weeks ago that was talking about the section of the Doctrine and Covenants that talks about tithing.
Mm-hmm.
And they shared an extraordinary amount of historical context around tithing and the different ways tithing has been interpreted since the restoration of the church. And I didn't realize how many different ways it had been interpreted. And it was kind of
Give me
regulated.
one. It's 10th. It's 10th. Give me one.
Well, that was regulated about the time of Lorenzo Snow being prophet of the church, where everyone came to understand it was 10% of your annual income.
Mm-hmm.
But very early on in the church, it was X percent of your total assets, meaning take all of your assets minus all of your liabilities, and then X percent of what was left was donated to the church.
Interesting.
And then there was a few years later, they qualified it and called it your increase. They were getting to the point where people were saying, well, why do I have to keep giving tithing on the same land that I had year after year after year? And then they said, okay, you only pay tithing on the increase to your land, your increase to your cattle, your increase to your sheep, your increase to your wheat crop, right? And then it was normalized to the 10th of our income with Lorenzo Snow, primarily because most of us now have financial increases, not crop increases or farm increases like was the case early in the church.
Thus setting the ground for the inevitable discussion in Elders Quorum. Do we pay on gross or do we pay on net?
do what you feel inspired to do. Yes.
Just do it.
So if I pay tithing and then I invest it in my retirement account, when I take out my retirement, do I need to pay tithing on that?
Well, see, do you have is there a tithing Roth? Can you put money in a non-tithed account?
Of course, I pay it on the increase, but do I pay it on the base? I'm not going to choose here.
But at the point that you start looking at it like this, spoiler, you've missed the point of giving.
Exactly.
Everyone.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know. God rewards a giving heart. Great. Okay.
Yes, exactly. Cool. Exactly. Next story, I thought this was interesting. We've talked about the church buying land in Australia, but the church has just bought significant holdings in New Zealand as well.
Yes.
And the holdings that they purchased in New Zealand include a kiwi orchard. I'm assuming that's kiwi the fruit, not kiwi the bird.
Yeah.
But a kiwi orchard, I think, is fantastic. This article goes on to talk about kiwis are an absolutely wonderful crop. We've admired them from a distance for some time, said President and Chief Executive Doug Rose, who is the President and Chief Executive of the Churches Corporation that bought this land. And so they're buying it for farmland, but it sounds like they're also buying it for some development along the way.
There's a quote from Doug Rose that I love. What an absolutely wonderful crop we have admired from a distance for some time. I don't know. For some reason, that seems sort of funny to me. We've been admiring your kiwi fruit crop from a distance. We didn't want to say anything.
Kiwi's getting more and more popular. My grandsons love kiwi. If you give them a choice of kiwi or any other fruit, they'll choose kiwi every time.
It's a texture thing for me.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I can take it in small quantities.
I can't do it.
The other thing that was interesting was the Charity Register of New Zealand, which is the church is required to report our financials in New Zealand to the government. Documents that the church made a surplus of 23.3 million last year and owned 517 million in property, plants, and equipment, and 10 million in investment property. And compare that to a total church membership in New Zealand of 54,000 people.
Yeah.
So, an excuse to be called on a mission to New Zealand to help with the kiwi fruit.
Do it. You could take your grandkid with you because they'd pick kiwi fruit anytime.
That's right.
Texture, and they're little seeds, and I feel like they're going to grow in my body. Then I'm going to have a kiwi growing inside.
Oh, you're tortured. You're still got PTSD from watermelon as a child.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Ethiopian youth, that is the rising generation, embrace their first FSY. Super cool. The first ever For the Strength of Youth conference in the country of Ethiopia was held this year. A 5-day event sponsored by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. 68 youth and 16 leaders gathered in the capital of Addis Ababa, September 1st through the 6th. We may have even talked about it before, but it hit the news thing again. I just think it's awesome that these things are being opened up to youth everywhere and being able to meet like-minded youth and know you're not weird, you're not alone. Believing in, God, believing in Jesus is something that other people do, and being able to have like-minded people around in those spirit experiences to build their testimony for the rest of their life. Super cool.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. That's wonderful. The next story I picked was there was a crash into a West Valley church recently. Of course, we had the terrible crash in Michigan a few weeks ago that we're still mourning. This one's a little more, from my point of view, a little more lighthearted. Turns out that there were two young people, and let's see, it says the crash came after an argument between a 20-year-old driver and his 19-year-old girlfriend.
Yeah.
The two were reportedly arguing over a text message when the driver grabbed his girlfriend's phone and threw it out the window. As the two struggled over another phone, the car swerved off the road, crashing into the church, according to investigators.
Yeah. I mean,
no one was hurt. Damage is estimated at $20,000. And then they go on to say, Kimmy Wolf with the Utah Domestic Violence Coalition said arguments can be signs of a deeper relationship issue.
Yeah.
I would say they're probably arguing over a text that someone sent to someone of the opposite sex that they didn't particularly appreciate.
Sure. Inferring that, but that article, it's interesting. It probably 50% of the article talks about, like, if you are in a position where someone is trying to gain control over you, that is domestic abuse. And the church has nothing to do with it. They happen to be in Utah where there's a church
on every other block, and they happen to crash into the church. Yep.
So there's that. All right, let me go here. I sort of started this story. This actually, just in today's Deseret News, we've talked about the new missions, but in the wake of the news about the new missions, we continually are surprised by, you guessed it, the rising generation. There are 5 particular things within Latter-day Saint youth that are different than maybe the broader world. Number 1, more identified with faith generally. Nationally, religiosity skews towards older ages, while loss of faith is disproportionately showing up among younger ages. However, the same survey found that 1 of 4 adults who identify as Latter-day Saint are in the 18 to 25 category. This means that Latter-day Saints are about as old and as young as the non-religious, countering the conventional wisdom that religion is an old person's game. Number 2, Latter-day Saint youth are more likely to say faith is personally important. Attitudes among Latter-day Saint millennials and Gen Z in the University of Michigan's Monitoring the Futures database are also on par with, or actually more favorable to, religion than some older generations. The professor down at BYU that we've had on the show before, Justin Dyer, says, in comparing the generations when they were high school seniors, millennial Latter-day Saint youth feel religion is more important than all other generations. Latter-day Saint youth are more likely to attend church than their non-Latter-day Saint counterparts. Attendance from the Cooperative Election Study tells the same story. 6 out of 10 Latter-day Saint youth ages 18 to 25 attend church weekly, while their non-Latter-day Saint counterparts only about 22%. Number 4, more are involved in religious education. For the second straight year, BYU Idaho's incoming class shattered its mark for incoming students this fall. Every church institution engaging the youth is now bursting at its seams. Latter-day Saint children and youth were most likely to receive religious messages at home, with their parents most likely to read scriptures and or pray with their minor children at 80%, followed by evangelicals at 76% and Muslims at 70%. And then the number 5 in this whole thing, more are engaged in sharing the gospel. That's right. 84,000 full-time missionaries. That's more than 12,000 that were serving in 2023, and more than quick math, 65,000 that were serving in 2022. Whether this flood of increasing missionaries will continue partly depends on the fertility shifts taking place around the country and within Latter-day Saint faith. However, one thing is sure, what we think is happening with the youth does not necessarily apply with Latter-day Saint youth.
It's a good point. It makes me wonder. I loved the percentages of people reading scriptures with their family daily. I love the fact that evangelicals and Muslims have such a strong culture of doing that also. That's wonderful. Yeah. That's great. In terms of church attendance, I'm wondering if that means our LDS members of the rising generation that are members of the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints, are they themselves more religious? Or is it a factor of their parents being more insistent they come versus parents of evangelicals and Muslims and otherwise?
So this is 18 to 25.
Okay.
Okay. I mean,
so it's really young single adult age. Yeah. I love it. That's great.
Or maybe they're figuring it out still. I can still remember from my freshman to my sophomore year of college.
Oh, yeah.
My freshman year of college, I was like, yeah, and everyone's there. And then the sophomore year of college, went, are we not doing this? Did I? Was there another meeting somewhere else?
Yeah, my freshman year at BYU, my entire ward was, I'd say, 99% freshmen. We were all in the dorms. And then after my mission, I was living in the apartments, King Henry, King Henry. And I finally realized that, there were a bunch of inactives that were living in those apartments attending BYU as well.
Sure. You'd go just enough to be able to continue to go to BYU.
Just enough. And that was just prior to ecclesiastical endorsements. So now you have to certify every year.
Oh, never mind then. They probably were inactive. They
probably were.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
How
about this one? I thought this was really cool. In West Valley, there are 3 structures: the West Valley City Lighthouse Church, the Hillsdale, and the Whitehall buildings. All are due to be decommissioned by the church because of changing demographics and change in Utah's second largest city. Didn't realize that. But city leaders plan to convert the buildings into community resource centers where education, a nonprofit called My Hometown will run free classes for residents. The partnership among the city, the church, and the nonprofit has borne fruit already. Twice a week average of 70+ residents attend classes at a handful of the faith's buildings in the suburb. I thought the arrangement here is really unique. The church actually leases these buildings to this organization for a couple of years, upon which they then have the right to purchase the building.
Awesome.
So they get to test drive for a couple of years, and the church helps them test drive. by providing the buildings. I think that's awesome. And the cities work with another nonprofit who specializes in creating these classes and community involvement.
And I think it's beneficial because this way they don't just go unused, which you see some of these chapels here in Utah where you're just like, guys,
Oh,
come on, there should be something with it. And they are even the older ones, for the most part, you can still tell once upon a time that was an LDS church. And
yes.
so without saying it, it is goodwill for a community when people go, man, that place that I'm going to get these great services that's going to make my life better, even if they can't register it consciously, the subconscious goes, I was able to go to an LDS church to be able to receive those services.
That's right.
Smart.
That's right. That's great. I think it's smart use of the buildings. The question is, will they get rid of the green lawns? As I was landing in Salt Lake the last time, we're of course flying over the suburbs, and then I'm picking out, that's a church, that's a church, that's an LDS church, LDS church. You know the easy way to pick them out?
Yep.
Big green lawns around them.
Yes. Yep. And my particular stake center, we've got an amazing field that's fenced off, and we do a couple of things a year there, which I think is great and okay if we want to keep it, and that's fine. But we've got so many park strips that we should just rip out the grass in the park strip. No one's walking in the park strip. No one needs the grass to be there.
Yeah.
I have even said, hey, stake president, I would love for my tithing money to go towards rocks, and I'll do the work. Just give me permission to do this, and I'll do it.
Harkening back to the story we just read, that was one of the reasons they cited these buildings being great resources. Number one, they all have gyms built in, so they can use that. Number two, many of them have ball fields, or lawns that they can use for soccer fields. So they are being used in that case.
Another thing, awesome. This again from a little while back, but these things circle back. So maybe we didn't mention it, maybe we did, but worth mentioning again. The church donated to NutriSalud, which gotta mean like nutritional health. Is that?
Sounds like it, yeah.
And its initiative aimed at enhancing the nutritional health of around 3,000 individuals, primarily focused on children, single mothers, and older adults. It impacts roughly 500 families, and the church made a donation to that organization. And I just love it. I love that we do that kind of thing. I love that it's becoming more and more talked about. And hope we can continue to do it. And particularly as I spent a good 45 minutes watching Jamaica get slammed by this storm. And I know your heart is in Haiti for the people there that have had effects of Hurricane Melissa. If you have the means, and I know we're in the middle of a government shutdown where people don't have money to be able to do it, but if there is a place in your heart and in your wallet that you can be able to donate, vet them, of course. There are needs to be met, both in your local community, SNAP programs, government may or may not figure it out. Jeez, get me started. But you can affect a family. Do you know a family? Does the bishop know a family? Hey, the SNAP thing, is there someone that's struggling around us? No, there's not anything like that. We live in an affluent neighborhood. Okay. The people of Jamaica are going to have a heck of a time recovering from this. Is there something that the church is doing that we can do? We need to be doing things for people if we have the means to be able to do it. And the other side of it, the thing that Mormons aren't good at, if you need help, you need to accept help.
That's right. That's right. We don't need to be commanded in all things. We should be doing good of our own volition at all times, and there's plenty of good to be had. Our ward council has already said that the SNAP issue and challenge that applies to several people in our ward will be a primary discussion point in ward council this Sunday. But then donations certainly to Jamaica would be a smart thing and a good thing to do.
I'm going to start this conversation, and then I want you to pull up the example. When we did the live show, you came in hot and heavy, ready to talk about surviving Mormonism and how the internet reacted. And because of how the live show worked, we didn't know we were going to have missionaries there with us. I feel like it was the great call to be able to go towards that. I would love it if you would look up some of those funny surviving Mormonisms. I'm going to talk about what the actual story is.
Yes.
Give you the time to be able to do that.
I'll look it up right now.
So Heather Gay, who people may know from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, she's a returned missionary, since left the church. She wrote the book Bad Mormon, and then I think her other book is Here for a Good Time or something like that. Uh, looking it up. Hold on. Good Time Girl is her other book. I listened to Bad Mormon, and Carrie, this is not a book for you. Do not read Bad Mormon, Carrie, if you're looking to be inspired. But I thought it was fascinating to see similarities in my life as in her life, and just how different crossroads and different decisions that can be made can have different results. So there's that. But I thought her book was well done. There was some parts in there about the temple that I was like, this is not necessary. You are putting this in here to incite people to be super angry about this, and that's why you have done this. That's what they do. Doesn't matter, whatever, it's over, but I read the book just the same. She is doing a docu-series. I use that term loosely because tends to mean like, hey, this is the truth, whatever. I think it's
a balanced portrayal of both sides of the issue. This will not be.
Yes. Because
but I'm actually excited to watch it.
I just think it'll be interesting to see what is addressed, and
I want to see the angle that they take and how specifically Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints specific it is versus any church denomination that's fairly orthodox in their beliefs.
Yeah. So she's 51, was a member of the church for more than 40 years. This series is with Bravo. It is a 3-part docu-series. According to the press release, each episode will follow Gay as she uncovers the dark history of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And then goes on. The 3-part limited series fractures the church's seemingly perfect veneer to expose the secrets that have been kept behind closed doors. Okay. Here's the thing that I know it will talk about, those that have suffered in abuse in the church, and that's real. It's terrible, and I'm not making light of that. It will also talk about and have the experience of ex-Mormons, both the way that they have been treated by members of the church and why and how some were excommunicated. I'm sure that will be a part of the conversation as well. And also they apparently will discuss with former LDS church leaders, though I can't imagine that's going to be anyone 70 or higher, probably bishops and stake presidents that are no longer members of the church that will be that. So interesting to see how that ends up, if the church says anything about it like they have with other things.
They would just restate the same thing, right? I mean, these don't necessarily reflect the beliefs of good, strong members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Yeah. Yep. To her point though, she says that this is empowering for her and that she feels like she's able to heal, and I guess I wish empowerment and healing on anyone, so I don't know why
I wish the same.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
the faith of others is not the way necessarily to do it, but all right.
Yeah, I think the research would actually show that's the way not to do it. Sure. If you read into the research, but it provides entertainment. It's going to get ratings. Plenty of people are going to watch it, and we're going to be hearing and seeing about it on social media and television, etc.
And in an episode, at least one of the Cultural Hall will talk.
At least, yeah.
I'm gonna make a T-shirt that says "I'm surviving Mormonism" or "surviving" or "a survivor" or I don't know.
Yeah, I like that. We should.
I've also thought about doing a T-shirt run for Christmas, a one-time offer. It'd run through like the 15th of November till the 15th of December. So if people have a phrase, I like the phrase kind of T-shirts, like "on the back row" or "bless the sugar out of this crap" or something like that.
Saving a seat for you.
Yeah, saving a seat for you. Send us an email, contact@theculturalhall.com. So Surviving Mormonism comes out. It's a 3-part docuseries. Comes out on the 11th of November, and the members of the church were like, well, here's something funny. Now tell me about the funny part of this.
Yeah, so of course the members of the church saw this on social media and all of the announcements, and there's a hashtag Surviving Mormonism. So of course, members of the church started to have fun with this and started to post back and tagging Surviving Mormonism. So I'll read you just a few of them. One, surviving Mormonism, but it's just burning a few days of vacation to go backpacking with some teenage boys to teach them how to become men. Surviving Mormonism, and it's just me knowing that I never learned to backflip. Surviving Mormonism, and it's a woman who's helping the primary with the rehearse the primary program.
Oh, geez.
Surviving Mormonism, just me rereading First Nephi for the 86th time. One day I'll make it to the end.
Sure.
Surviving
Spoiler.
Mormonism, that one person at Fast and Testimony who stands up in the last 5 minutes and is guaranteed to give a 15 or 20-minute speech.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Can we? So here's the thing that I've thought most recently. Do you have a couple others?
Yeah, surviving Mormonism means having the compulsion to stack folding chairs at the end of a meeting. Surviving Mormonism, it's me trying to make room in my stomach to honor every contestant at our ward's annual chili cook-off.
So I have an idea, and I've never seen it done before, but I want to do it. I don't want to be the teacher of it necessarily, though. Given some training, I could do it. But I would love one time, or maybe it's 2 times, right? So people have a little bit of investment. You can come back, or maybe it's like a month, right? Maybe it's like one of these financial things that we do every week for 6 weeks, or a mission prep, or something like that, right? But here's what it is. Someone in the stake who is a good speaker teaches how to write, prepare, and deliver a good talk.
We ought to have that training session. Why wouldn't we put that into the self-reliance programming?
Yes.
A special Sunday school lesson on a Sunday, or a special elders quorum lesson. I love that idea.
It just seems so simple, because here's the thing. The people that are really good at it, there can always be some refinement, right?
Sure.
There's a little bit too much hubris, or they
Right.
feel like they can walk
not
into
enough
anything.
spiritual content, not
right.
enough reference to the scriptures, or
Right. But by and large, if we are hoping to have our testimonies grown by the sharing of testimonies of other people week in and week out, don't we owe it to ourselves to have hey, you're great, God loves you, and here is a way that you could be just a little bit better at that particular thing?
I think that's a wonderful idea. I mean, think about all of the converts. How did you learn how to give a talk? You learn by
growing up and watching
thousands of them, right? But we have lots of members that are either returning members or new members that have no idea. And we have lots of present members who, for those of us that have received some professional training, do things that completely hurt their own cause and distract from the message they're trying to share.
Yes.
So yes, some very simple instructions and some simple tools to help in preparation and delivery would be very helpful.
Yeah. Prepare is 1 week, deliver is the second. 2 1-hour things.
I like it. Yeah, if it was missionary work, we would have a follow-up as a third.
Yeah. And then okay, so I'm doing this for some ward here. I hope someone's listening. So you get people to volunteer to do this, right? Say, hey, we're doing this. You get the one person, maybe it is the bishop, or maybe it's someone, right? You kind of task them with this, whatever.
Yeah.
That's their thing, right? But then you say, hey, we're going to do this. We would love to have volunteers. And then not only do you get people speaking better, hopefully it's noticeable to people that go, oh man, that person spoke better than they did last time. They get curious, etc. But even if not, you have I almost said a quorum. You have a quorum of people who have attended this class, and then you say, hey, thank you so much. Now you are assigned this Sunday, you are assigned this Sunday, you are assigned this Sunday, and they get the opportunity to play out the thing that they have just learned.
Yes.
Cementing the things.
Absolutely. I love it. Yeah.
All right. Good. Then make it so.
We'll make it so.
A 50-year-old Logan man was arrested on felony burglary charges and property destruction charges after allegedly stealing thousands of dollars worth of copper wire from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints seminary building that's in construction up at Logan High School. Roland Lamb Glines faces 2 charges, second-degree felony burglary, third-degree felony property damages, 2 counts of misdemeanor theft. The electrical contractor contacted the Logan High School resource officer about a theft at the new construction site. The contractor reported that someone had entered the building, cut the wiring, connected to interior control panels. Stolen materials included various gauges of copper and aluminum wire. The contractor reported an estimated between $6,000 and $12,000 loss. Security footage showed a suspect arriving at the construction site on an electric scooter. Sort of ironic. At 3:06 a.m. The footage shows the person jumping the construction fence, entering the building, and then when he left 40 minutes later, he was carrying large bundles of wire, which, I mean, I don't love theft, but the visual of guy riding electric scooter with bundles of wire around both arms and trying to keep the thing straight is sort of humorous to me.
And not that I'm encouraging theft in any way, but as you read the article, they got a very good description of him in terms
Yes.
of a sweatshirt that had very specific lettering on the front and a baseball cap and his face and have we not watched enough TV and movies to know that you have to wear nondescript dark clothing and be wearing a mask?
Yes.
Come on, people.
And that everywhere you go, you are filmed. Literally
That's right.
everywhere.
That's true. Not quite as much as in Europe, but
Yeah.
but we're getting any construction site, any corporate location, you're being filmed.
Yeah, it does not help that he took those metals and got money from a recycling place, and they indexed it out like, well, how much of this was aluminum and how much of this was copper, and they're like, yeah, were you missing about this much copper and about this much aluminum? And they're like, yeah, and they're like, that guy came in on a scooter in the middle of the night.
Yep. I
So,
tell you what, when I visit my own home under construction, there's a whole bunch of copper wire there, and it makes me nervous.
sure, because
Can't wait till they cover it up. Yeah.
people will do it. People
Can't
will
wait till
come
they cover
in
it up.
with wanton disregard
That's right.
because they need a hit. They can turn that around and get a quick fix.
I guess so.
We got time maybe for what, one or two more? Where do you want to go?
Yeah. I'm going to go to, we've talked about these tithing lawsuits. I think it's interesting to know that just recently the plaintiffs that are suing the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints over alleged tithing misuse and misrepresentation of church history indicated that they do intend to file an appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court. People may remember this case. It's by Laura Gaddy. She filed a complaint back in 2019 that was dismissed, and then in 2020 filed another complaint, this time as a civil racketeer influenced and corrupt organization claim, or RICO. That claim was partially dismissed and partially granted on the issue of the church potentially misrepresenting what it uses tithing for. In 2021, her and Leanne Harris and Lyle Small filed another civil RICO claim against the church, largely making the same claims as the previous suit. That one has gone through the court system, has been dismissed by the Supreme Court of Utah, and they are now saying that they will take and appeal that to the Supreme Court. It's important to note that the Supreme Court takes on about 1% of cases that are brought to them. So there is the potential of this Supreme Court reviewing this latest case, which is one of four that we've all heard about. There's this case, the Huntsman case. They cite the case where the church had to pay the $5 million fine to the U.S. Treasury. We can talk some other time if you'd like about how I see that in terms of them misrepresenting and misreporting. And then the other lawsuit brought by the whistleblower from Ensign Peak, who claimed that tithing funds were not being used appropriately. But it would be interesting to see if this goes to the Supreme Court and if the Supreme Court provides a ruling.
Yeah, I think based on my little knowledge around this stuff, I would think the Supreme Court will go, nope, we're not taking this up.
Yeah, they'll push it
Because
back
its
to the
impact
Utah
is-
Supreme Court and say it's already taken care of. You've already ruled.
Yep, but we
Yep.
don't know. And so long as it continues to be brought up, it is a thing. So this last story, I'm going to take a little different angle on it. If you want to be a stake president, you need to move to the Wausau Marshfield ward. If you want to be a stake president, it is the Marshfield congregation of the Wausau stake of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
How
Where
many
were
rooms?
these
How many
places?
rooms does Kurt Frankham need for his family?
He needs, let's see, he's got, I think, 3 kids and then his wife. So he could do a 2-bedroom place. He needs to move to Marshfield because Clint McKee recently been appointed as the new president of the Wausau stake. Now, he comes from the Marshfield congregation. He earned his medical degree from the University of Utah School of Medicine and then completed his residency at the Michigan State University Grand Rapids Medical Center. He currently practices emergency medicine in Marshfield. And the previous stake president, whose name was not that, I can't find his name. Anyway, he's the new guy, and the guy that was the stake president before, also from the same ward. So I'm not sure what Marshfield is doing to curate those new stake presidents, but Kurt Francom, you need to move to Marshfield. I think Michigan is where it is.
Yeah, I think that's
Part of
right.
the Marshfield ward in Michigan. Otherwise, you're just going to keep being an Elders Quorum president in American Fork. That's your destiny, Kurt Francom. You had your shot at the bishop, you took it, and then you moved, and now
He was in
done.
the stake presidency, right?
Yep. That's it. Always a bridesmaid, my friend. Always a bridesmaid.
No. I think we do need to cover one more article.
Okay.
We have President Oaks is now the prophet and president of the church, and of course we've talked about the new first presidency. But you love a list. I love a list. There's a list of 10 things about Sister Oaks that we could learn about.
Okay.
Which I think is wonderful. So I'll rapid fire them. Number 1, she's from Salt Lake City, Utah, and was baptized at age 10.
Okay. Do we know why 10, not 8?
I don't know. In her description, it says, we were not active in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I had to beg to be baptized.
Okay.
So the parents finally acquiesced. Number 2, she earned her bachelor's degree in English, a master's degree in special education, both from the University of Utah, and a doctorate degree in curriculum and instruction from Brigham Young University.
Interesting. Interesting to note then that all of the women in President Oaks's life, very, very educated, very powerful, smart women.
Yep. Number 3, she served a mission in Sendai, Japan at the age of 26.
Huh.
That's awesome. So she took her time and thought about it and decided to serve a mission at 26.
And President Oaks didn't serve a mission because of his service with the Utah National Guard and the Korean conflict.
That's right. That's right. Number 4, Sister Oaks worked as a consultant for the largest privately held publishing house in America. She traveled widely, training teachers around the world to teach reading. So that was her occupation.
Do you know what that is?
They don't list the largest privately held publishing house.
Where did she work? Hang on. It doesn't say right here. Cannot find it. Does not say. Okay, go ahead.
After years of consulting, Sister Oaks began to feel her life was unbalanced. She wanted to be home more often near her family in Utah. She says most of her life, energy, and time were going to her employment. And so she asked her bishop for a blessing. In the hands of the Lord, explains, she says what happened next. Her bishop pronounced the blessing, if you do not quit your job, you will have your blessings in the eternities, but not in this life.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
She says, when I heard his words, I felt the truth of them. I had to stop traveling and find employment near home. For a single sister, giving up financial security is no easy thing. I had no new job to go to. I had to go on faith and resign from my job.
Which is pretty cool when you recognize that like that was the end result. But when people do stuff like that, there's a level of anxiety that that comes up in me, and I guess that's what the Spirit would calm within you if you know it's the thing that you're going to do. But like I hear that story and I go, but what if it didn't? Oh my gosh.
Exactly. It so happens soon after she resigned and moved home. That's when Elder Ballard set her up on her date with President Oaks. If you know that story, you know it. If not, we can cover it another time.
Another time.
President and Sister Oaks were married when she was almost 53 years old. It was Sister Oaks' first marriage and President Oaks' second marriage. Go ahead.
He was 73, right?
I don't know.
Well, we'll keep going. What number are we on?
We're on number 7. She and President Oaks lived in the Philippines from 2002 to 2004 on a special assignment to establish the church in the country. I didn't remember that special assignment. That's very cool.
Yeah, wasn't he Elder Holland was in South America?
That's
and
correct.
Elder Oaks was in the Philippines.
That's
right. We were baptizing people too fast and not retaining them at all.
Having some challenges. That was part of what I heard is the justification, but I'll bet they did a whole lot more than that while they were there.
Yeah, a lot of leadership training. He was 67. She was 53.
Okay. And then lastly, number 8, Sister Oaks is the author of several children's books, including The Testimony Glove and My Home Can Be a Holy Place. Of the latter, she told LDS Living, I want so much for the young parents in Zion to prepare and protect their precious children, the future of our church.
The rising generation, she said.
Yes.
Well,
So-
we got through some news today, pal.
We got through some. Yes.
Maybe we'll do some more tomorrow. We don't know. I might just send you a text message and say, what do we got today? Because there are several stories that have been on the docket for a while that we just continue to avoid because of their heaviness and some of the other things. We probably need to talk to you about them. And
We do.
anything
We
else
do.
that's
Why
fine.
don't we let Megan or Molly or Taylor
Why don't you
want
wanna
to
hang out with me? I thought we were
I
friends.
love it.
No,
I'm just trying
fine.
to share the love with everyone.
It's cool if you don't want to be friends. Just say it, okay? Just say it. You don't have
And
to.
no, I am not mad.
You don't have to pass me off to somebody else.
Any updates on the next live audience taping?
No, I need to get over to the Leatherby's to ask permission. I need
Yeah.
to. I want to meet
that
him
was
face to
so
face.
fun. We don't want to overindulge on it, but it was so fun. That'll be a great thing to do.
Yeah, I have the tendency when I like something to do it a lot and then have it not be fun. That's not what I want to do. My guess, my hope,
Let's-
4 times a year, I need to ask you,
Perfect.
when
Perfect.
will you be back in Utah in 2026?
I don't have a date yet,
Okay.
but that gives me an excuse to come, so we
Yeah.
can figure that out. And I think
Will you
once
be
a
in
quarter
town for
is
the
perfect.
holidays? Do I have
Probably
to have a gift
not.
ready to pretend like I bought one for you?
No, don't worry about buying me a present.
Well, I wouldn't.
Just wait till my birthday next May.
When May? Ugh. Now I gotta find something. Say this was for you. I thought of you when I bought this. What is it? It's a bowling ball.
Snickers bar.
It says Homer on it. All right. Well, we hope that this episode has nourished and strengthened your body,
And if you weren't healthy enough to listen this week, you'll be healthy enough to listen next week.
and that when the time comes, you'll be able to travel home in safety. In the meantime, go Tar Heels. Debbie Wanless, Chocolate Cakes by Podcast. Did I
The
already
tiger
say-
with a U.
the Tiger with a U. Did I already say go Tar Heels? Did I already say
You
that?
did. You
Alpine
did.
Lakes Travel.
Alpine Lakes Travel.
We will
Yes.
be saving a seat for you.
On the back row of
the
Cultural Hall.
Save me a seat, it's sure to be neat on the back row. We really gotta go on the Culture Hall show.